Hello guys, it's Nnam.Young again. So on the channel, we're starting a new series where we talk with young people who have been able to do very good for themselves. So they share their stories with us on how they were able to become this productive so that we can learn from them and also live productive lives. This new series is tagged Young and Productive. You're welcome to the first episode of Young and Productive. Get ready to learn. So guys, on the first episode of Young and Productive, I will be talking with Darlington, who is a tech bro, who is involved in web development and blockchain development. Darlington, nice to meet you.
Thank you, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Okay, welcome to the channel. Please, can you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
Okay, my name is Darlington Nnam. So basically, I do blockchain development and engineering. So currently, I work with Argent, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay, you do blockchain development. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you tell us, how did you get into the tech space? How did you get into the development space?
Well, it's a bit complicated. So basically, I would say literally how I got in, right? I was looking, I had this business idea. I was looking to build, right? So it was like an e-commerce website, and I'm looking for developers to help me build it, right? And I think that was when I was in first year or second year or something. So in a lot of persons I met, the price they called, even if they actually did it jokingly, was actually a lot of money. And I was like, okay, I was going to learn this thing. Besides, at that point, I'd already begun to get fascinated by the whole computer, tech gadgets, and a whole lot of stuff. So I said, okay, I'll just try my hands out with programming, and so that I can build my own ideas by myself, right? And I think that's how I just got started. I started learning the basic web development languages, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the rest, yeah.
Okay, so far, how far have you gone? What are the languages you've learned? What are the things you've done so far in this space?
Well, I would say thus far, I think I got into this space as at 2019, right? And I've been able to like play around with a whole lot of stuff. So getting initially, I was just here and there. So like I told you, I initially learned because I want to build up my business idea. So I started with HTML, CSS, then I did a little of JavaScript, and then I went on to PHP because I needed like a backend language to like for the server coding and a whole lot of other stuff. So I did some stuff with PHP. Okay, I did a whole lot of stuff with PHP, and I think for a while that was my major like stack for web development, right? HTML, CSS, JavaScript, PHP. So and I also played around with Python too. There was a time I was also fascinated with data science, and I said, okay, I was going to try out Python too, but I didn't really do a lot of stuff in Python. Then I tried out Golang too, and I think that was just about it. So I even tried out C++. So basically, any stuff I got fascinated with, I just decided, okay, I was going to try it out. But I think it was quite unstable. It's not something I would advise every other person to, right? So, well, as at last year, that was 2021, that was when I finally got into blockchain development, and I was like, okay, I wanted to build a career around this, right? And so I started out with Solidity, and I think for blockchain development, I use Solidity, all development frameworks like Truffle, Hardhat. I've also done some stuff with Foundry, right? But currently I write Cairo. Like currently I'm a full-time Cairo engineer. So Cairo is a language we used to build scalable centralized applications on Starknet, and I think that's where I'm setting my camp in Cairo and zero knowledge proofs in general. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot, from web development to blockchain development in 3 years, right? You said 2019.
Yeah.
So how were you able to achieve this much in a short while?
Well, I wouldn't particularly say I achieved a lot, because I felt like 2019, 2020 I was mostly playing around, because I was doing this stuff. Like I told you, I started out building a business idea, business field. I started out another business idea, that field too, and so I started. That was when I ventured into cryptocurrency, and okay, I already had a good idea of how web development works. I could build websites, even did a whole lot of freelancing at some point, but I think I would say most of my learning began last year, right? When I decided I made the decision I was going to venture into blockchain engineering full time, and that was, I think, we just started, and luckily gas went on strike, and now there was a whole lot of time to play with, and so I just decided to double down, because I had read a lot of success stories, a lot of person stories, and I was like, okay, I could actually do this, right? And my goal was, okay, I wanted, initially I got in with the whole mindset of getting a job because of all the whole social media shenanigans I was seeing. That was actually a bad starting, right? So, because at the end I actually did get the job, but it was not what I really wanted to get. And yes, but then I doubled down, started writing code 6 to 8 hours a day, and I did a whole lot of listening to podcasts. I think my favorite podcast was the CK podcast by Anna Rose, right? I did a whole lot of listening to podcasts. I made sure I read like 3 articles a week on the whole blockchain sector, read white papers and a whole lot of other stuff. And I think that was actually what helped me a lot, right? Yeah.
Okay, so you can attribute the speed and the things you've achieved so far to the tenacity, the intensity of work you do. You said something about coding for 6-8 hours, and then you talked about reading a lot. Wow, so if I give myself to those kind of things, then I'll be able to.
yeah, definitely. Although I don't, not everybody that can actually tell that process you get. I actually feel like every other person should just find the speed at which you can work with to get, because the whole idea is everything takes time, right? But if you want to like shorten the time, it means you want to put more effort to get. So for example, someone who is writing, let's say 3 hours to 6 hours a day could probably achieve something like that in, let's say, a year plus or 2 years you get. So but if you want to achieve a lot in a short time, then you must be ready to sacrifice more time per day than other persons would, right? So I think that's the whole idea basically.
Okay, that's beautiful. So far it's been 3 years. What has changed for you? What have you learned in this space?
Well, I would say it's been 3 years and I've actually learned a lot. So basically I would say I am the kind of person, right, that is actually fascinated about. I want to know things, right? I feel very uncomfortable when I sit with people and I'm having conversations I can't contribute to, right? So I think that's one of the reasons that drives me a lot to know stuff, like when I feel like I can't contribute to this thing, I want to read more about it. And I think that was one of the stuff that helped me a lot. Like I got to know about it was although late, but I think it was one of the important lessons I got to learn in tech space, right? Things change so fast, and if you are going to like stay, let's say, stay relevant, you need to be able to like have so much knowledge to contribute to meaningful conversations. That's one. Secondly, I learned the importance of socializing, engaging in community, right? So basically, I'm the type of person you call an introvert, right? I don't know how to socialize. I don't know how to socialize. But then, I think it was an important lesson I learned this year. The whole effect that getting, as in the whole advantage that getting involved in a community actually presents to you, right? So there's a lot of advantage I just cannot see, but that's an advice I would try to give to any person looking to start out, right? Get involved, like don't learn on your own. Like imagine I was actually in space for close to like 3 years, but only very few persons knew I actually write codes, right? It was not something I was I wanted to speak with people. Like I did stuff on my own, and apart from the fact that you don't like get to meet opportunities, right? It also has this disadvantage of not helping you scale fast. So there's this issue of imposter syndrome that we find in within the ecosystem generally. In fact, every single person faces imposter syndrome. Just that it depends on how you handle it, right? I feel like it has its own advantages too, because basically when I sit with people who are above me, there's no how I wouldn't feel like an imposter again. But then it now makes me know that okay, I have a lot of upscaling to do. I don't see myself as someone who probably doesn't. I don't look down on myself, right? I just see it as an opportunity to actually upscale the little knowledge I have. So I think that's what getting engaged with more persons does, right? If you have people around who are better, you'll always get encouraged to be better. And I think those are like the few lessons I can actually talk about. Yeah.
Okay, so you talked about communities and how they helped you, and then you talked about being able to learn and then dropping the whole introverted nature because of tech. So basically,
it's not like I dropped it, but then I made efforts to start being extroverted.
Okay, so there's an improvement in your personality.
Exactly.
You're not as you used to be. Okay, that's really beautiful. Okay, so how did you get your first job? When was it? What did you feel? How did you feel like?
Well, like I said earlier, I got in with the wrong motivation, right?
Okay.
Getting to see most of all the social media shenanigans, I felt like if I get into the development, right, I think in 4 to 6 months I would have got a job and started making millions like every other developer out there. But then it's not like it did not work like that, but it did not work like that basically, because I finally got a job, right? I got over the job. It was like with a startup in blockchain startup in Lagos then, and basically I was doing less of what I wanted to do, and I was working on mostly from the front end part of stuff, and I wasn't particularly satisfied with what I was doing, right? And I think at that point I had already encountered zero knowledge proofs, right? And I was really very fascinated with the concept and the whole idea of going beyond codes, right, into bringing the whole academia thing, maths and everything. So like I know maths so much, but then it still fascinates me a lot. And yeah, so I that was like.
That was like the first
job. That was like the first job, but I quit. I think after 3 months or something, I quit, and then I was mostly doing some freelancing roles. Right, I did some freelancing, and then I think the next job was the one with Argent I got recently, and I think this is actually more fun since I get to do what I want to do. Yeah.
Wow. So. Oh, that's really good. So basically, you spent over 2 years in the tech space before you were able to land your job.
Yep, I was just mostly doing freelancing something basically. Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, I thought if I just get in the space, learn some codes, then I'll just get a job that will bring me millions.
Well, I think that's the misconception in the tech ecosystem, right? Because like social media has made it look like you get it every like tech is like the next thing to like just make it big, right? So like they say, tech is blood money, but to get the money, you have to sacrifice your blood. Like it's not really all the whole night of listening to Indian men speak on English, all the whole staying up nights trying to fix bugs, looking at other persons doing better than you, you're asking God when, and all these things. Everybody actually go through those things, and yeah, it's actually not easy. But the thing is, you just keep putting in effort to actually make yourself better, and with time these opportunities get easier to actually access. That's just it. Yeah.
Okay, you talked about the misconception of making money fast, and that's what happens to every one of us that is outside that we've not gotten in. So I believe there are a lot more other misconceptions. So, but you've been in this space. What would you advise someone who is interested in tech, who wants to start up, who wants to get into this space, and is looking to be like you, you know, get better and then make the money too?
Well, the first advice is don't want to be like me. I bet you don't want to be like me. The second advice is I would say avoid what you see on social media. What you see on social media, most of it like it's not true, like basically. So I know there are a lot of persons that get lucky and probably land jobs earlier, but doesn't mean it will be same for you, right? And then I see a lot of persons looking for job with very little to offer. You get paid, right, to offer something valuable. You just cannot want to get a job and do what exactly you want to learn on the job. Most persons are not ready for it now. The whole layer of things going on. It's not like people are scared. Okay, is it now to get into all this stuff? People are still getting jobs, like very high paying jobs. But the thing is, you have to have something to offer. You have to. The whole idea is learn so much that you get to stay relevant, stay very valuable. So that's just it. That's the very biggest thing I always advise people. Avoid Twitter shenanigans, right? Most of those stuffs are not true. You cannot learn JavaScript in 3 months. You have to learn JavaScript throughout your life again.
Wow.
So most of all these
that's
things
not so encouraging.
It's not like I'm not trying to. It's not like you have to learn to be perfect in JavaScript before you maybe get your first JavaScript or front end job again. But then I'm just trying to tell you that because I think one of the things that actually happens to most of us is you get in and because things are not going the way you saw it, you feel like you are dumber or you are not smart or you can't do this. But then I believe every single person can actually do tech. Like every single, I don't care if your teacher called you dumb in class, you can actually write codes, you can do tech too. So yeah, that's about it. And I think that's about it. And lastly, tech is not about coding too. There are other very creative stuff you could do. There's technical writing, there's content marketing, there's digital marketing, project management, and a whole lot of other stuff too. So I believe there are a lot of tech is not coding. I think that's the greatest of all. There's UI design to study. Just look at those things you are good at and actually try your hands out on what you think it.
Okay, so for me who is intending to get into tech, Because of what you said now, you said anybody can do it, so I can also do it.
Sure, you can.
And then I should not pay attention to all the people on Twitter that are saying things.
Yeah, there are people on Twitter too that say valid things. It's just that most places are like, I feel like most places are chasing clouds and they will take influencing thing to. Most times it doesn't pay to actually listen to most of them.
Yeah, okay, I get that. And then you said I can do anything in tech, I must not code. Because this code looks hard. You know, those numbers and but then this is really encouraging. So I'll go and look for my own space and see if I can join. Wow, that's beautiful. So going forward, what's your plan? What's your dream? What do you intend to do in this space?
Okay, yeah. So going forward, I don't think I've actually thought of what I've actually thought too much about what I'll just see. I'm actually looking to become a better engineer, write better codes, build better products, and basically I'm also very much interested in cryptography research, the whole academia, what we call the whole academia part of it, right? My only limitation is some of the maths I run so complex. So initially I was actually looking to pursue, let's say, a PhD, pursue my master's in software engineering, but I'm actually reconsidering maybe trying out like pushing masters in maths. Yeah, so probably just just do a whole lot of. I'm very much interested in those stuff, and I feel like I would actually. But I don't know. They say life happens, right? And a whole lot of stuff might change. So and going forward, I might just see a problem. And I told you the time I wanted to be an entrepreneur, might actually come back and I'll probably quit everything to. Go build a business and build something people can use. Yeah, that's about it.
Wow, that's really beautiful. Like, it's really exciting to talk with you, and then it's really enlightening to have learned a lot hearing this from you. And I believe my viewers also are learning from you. I'm really grateful to have you here. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. So I believe you've learned a lot from this episode. If you want to get into tech, you know what to do. So if you really learned from this, can you give a like to this video, comment and share with your friends too. A subscription to the channel will be very important so that you will see more of our videos as they come out. Thank you.